In a boost for Boris Johnson's trade deal with the EU, French fishermen have been warned to prepare for a smaller catch after Brexit. French President Emmanuel Macron is preparing for a clampdown on his hardline demands for access to Britain's coastal waters. It has emerged, in private meetings with fishing industry chiefs, the government have hinted at a possible compromise in the wrangling over an EU-UK future relationship pact. Ministers said fishermen should brace for impact after the end of the post-Brexit transition period on the 31st of December. After the meeting, fisherman Jerome Viquelin said, "I was rather blunt and said, it's all well and good you came, but I'm worried because just a 10-15% cut in turnover would be a disaster over the long term." They were blunt too. They said it won't be the same as before. For me it's clear, they just want to try to limit damages as much as possible. Publicly, President Macron has warned he would not accept a Brexit deal that sacrifices our fishermen. But after last week's EU summit in Brussels, he conceded no deal would mean losing all access to British waters. He said, "If there is no deal, European fishermen will have no access to British waters whatsoever. That is the reality. If there is a deal, will the situation be the same as it is today? No, that's for sure." France has a total of 20,000 fishermen, including an extra 10,000 people working in fish processing jobs, one average between 2011 and 2015. Some 98,000 tons of fish were caught in British waters, representing some €171 million in turnover. A fourth of France's catch in the northeastern Atlantic was in British waters, according to a recent French Parliament report. But Brussels sources signaled Mr. Macron was still ready to force through a no-deal Brexit unless he can secure sufficient access to the UK's coastal waters for his fishers. Michel Barnier is under pressure from Paris to take a hardline approach against Britain to make it appear the bloc isn't pandering to Boris Johnson's threat to walk out of the trade talks. But the EU's Brexit chief wants to leave the door open for at least the next 3 weeks to give negotiations the best chance of succeeding. A diplomatic source said, Barnier will stress time is running out between now and November 16, but his communication will leave enough basis to continue the talks. France has signaled that this side should be ready to accept no deal. That said, our overarching interest is to get an agreement. French Europe Minister Clement Beaune has suggested the EU27 could stage a walkout if Mr. Johnson does not offer sufficient concessions. He said, "We thought the end of October was the final deadline. We are giving ourselves a few more days to give the negotiations a chance, but we need to know quickly." Michel Barnier has several days ahead of him where he is going to negotiate, and then he will talk to us. He is going to tell the head of state and government of the EU27, "Here is a deal, and I think it is a good one, and then we have to evaluate it." Or, "I think the British have not shown sufficient movement to reach an agreement that protects our interests," and then it's no deal.